So picture this. You're browsing eBay, right? Just casually scrolling through the listings, not expecting anything out of the ordinary. Maybe you're looking for a vintage lava lamp to add some retro flair to your room, or that talking big mouth Billy Bass you always wanted as a kid. Suddenly, bam, you see it. New Zealand. Up for auction. Yes, the entire country. It's like stumbling upon a slightly used kayak or that weird commemorative plate your aunt gave you, but way more bizarre. That's what happened back in 2006. And let me tell you, the internet nearly broke itself laughing. It was the talk of the web. I mean, who does that? Who wakes up one morning and says, "Yeah, I think I'll sell an entire country online today"? Well, one guy did, and the story is even funnier than you might think. It was a prank that spiraled out of control. Buckle up, because we're about to dive headfirst into the saga of the guy who tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. It's a wild ride you won't want to miss. Before we start, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're aiming to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Our story begins with a fellow named Isaac Butterfield from Newcastle, Australia. Now, Isaac wasn't some evil mastermind or anything. He was, by all accounts, a regular Aussie bloke, probably enjoys a good roast lamb and all that. But Isaac had a mischievous streak, a twinkle in his eye, and a computer mouse with a direct connection to global chaos. See, he never liked New Zealand and always joked about the country on his social media pages. And then, bam! He listed the country on eBay. Starting bid, a measly $1 I mean, come on, that's less than a cup of coffee. Now, you might be thinking, surely nobody would bid on that. Oh, my friend, you underestimate the power of the internet and its insatiable appetite for the ridiculous. People flocked to the auction like seagulls to a dropped hot dog. The bids started rolling in faster than a sheepdog rounding up its flock. $2, $5, $10. It was like an online auction house had suddenly become a geopolitical game show, and the world was watching with bated breath. By the time eBay finally caught wind of the situation, the bidding had reached a staggering $3,000. That's right. For the price of a used car, you could have almost owned New Zealand. Word of the auction spread faster than a juicy rumor in a small town. Newspapers were in a frenzy, and suddenly, everyone was talking about New Zealand. The Kiwis themselves, bless their woolen socks, took the whole thing in stride. Some were annoyed, sure, but most found the humor in it all. I mean, how often does your country become the punchline of a global joke? Don't answer that, Canada. The Prime Minister at the time, Helen Clark, even weighed in, calling the auction a joke and completely silly, which, let's be honest, it totally was. But hey, at least it put New Zealand on the map. eBay steps in, no more nations for sale, please. This was a necessary step to maintain the integrity of their platform. Now, as much fun as everyone was having, all good things must come to an end. The idea of buying a country online was amusing, but it was never going to be a reality. eBay, probably realizing that international diplomacy wasn't their forte, decided to pull the plug on the auction. They understood that selling a nation was beyond their scope. They removed the listing, much to the disappointment of high bidders everywhere. Some people had really high hopes and dreams pinned on this auction. Can you imagine the awkward conversation with your spouse? Trying to explain why you thought buying a country was a good idea? Honey, I have good news and bad news. The good news is, we just bought New Zealand. The bad news is, eBay just canceled the auction. eBay clarified that, shockingly, you can't actually sell a country online. Who knew, right? It seems obvious, but sometimes people need a reminder. They added a new rule to their terms of service, just in case anyone else got any bright ideas about auctioning off their homeland. This was a clear message to prevent any future attempts. Now, what did we learn from this whole saga? Quite a bit, actually. Well, for starters, don't mess with eBay's terms of service. They take that stuff seriously. More importantly, though, we learned that the internet is a strange and wonderful place. A place where the bizarre becomes the norm. A place where a guy with a computer can, for a brief, glorious moment, convince the world he's selling New Zealand. Isaac, the man behind the mouse, became a minor celebrity, even though he didn't make a dime off his little stunt. His audacity caught the world's attention. He proved that sometimes all it takes is a little bit of audacity and a whole lot of internet access to turn the world upside down. And New Zealand? Well, they got a whole lot of free publicity out of it. People who had never thought about New Zealand were suddenly curious. So I guess in the end, everybody wins? Isaac got his fame, New Zealand got its publicity, except maybe eBay, who had to deal with all the paperwork. They had to sort out the mess. But hey, that's what interns are for, right? Sorting out the chaos left behind by internet shenanigans. Thanks for watching this episode of our fun, weird stories. We hope you've learned something new. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.